What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dialed In. I'm going live with a men's physique competitor today. His name's Weston. We'll wait for him to hop in. All right. Wait for this to pick up real quick. All right. What's up, everybody? Hold on, my mouth's dry as hell. Was good. All right, we're good. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Should be a pretty good live, right? So it should be educational. We'll troll a little bit, but what up, Oscar? What's good? Wait for Weston to hop in. What's good?
Damn, what's up?
Damn,
I actually
bro.
figured it out.
Okay. I mean, there's only one button, bro. There's not
Yeah.
there's not that many buttons. But all right, bro. Well, first off, thank you for hopping on my. I don't know if it's a podcast or a show. I don't know what it is. Either way, thanks for hopping on. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I know everybody knows you're from TikTok and all that, but tell them about yourself and your. Cool.
Yeah. I'm 22, and I go to the University of Georgia, which is in Georgia, Athens, Georgia. So I'm an accounting undergrad, pursuing my Juris Doctorate, so law degree. So hopefully that's the plan after undergraduate. So
nice.
I do bodybuild, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah, just about the bodybuilding part. Is this something that you want to go pro in? Is it something you see yourself having a future in, or is this just like a hobby for you? Like, is it like life, or is it like a hobby?
Yeah, it came to be because I did play. I played D2 soccer in college for 2 years, and I got into weightlifting during that time, and I realized I couldn't put on weight while playing soccer and running, miles a day.
For sure.
So I quit soccer, transferred to University of Georgia, and I've lost that like competitive aspect of my life. And so I was like, what can I do within weightlifting to, gain that back? And that was bodybuilding. So the goal is to go pro.
Yeah,
honestly. So that's my dream and goal.
So is your passion in classic, or is your passion in men's physique? Because I know like you compete in men's physique, but you're always posing in classic. So like, where's your head at for that?
Yeah, the passion's definitely in classic. The art of posing is something I really enjoy, and like presenting yourself that way. So men's physique, it's more of like the gateway into bodybuilding for me, just because I don't have the package for classic yet, in my opinion.
Yeah. Couple
so
years.
Once I get there, which I'm still 22, and bodybuilding is actually an older sport. 35 is like the peak, in my opinion. So I think I have plenty of time to switch to classic if that happens.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So if you haven't been on here before, you haven't watched it, pretty much I have a list of questions I collected from everybody who I asked, and then on top of that, we'll answer whatever. Just we'll filter through a couple of them. I already saw a couple like, hell no, we ain't answering that.
Okay.
We'll scroll through. If you see anything that you like, feel free to bring it up. But if not, I'll go down the list and we'll do a little bit of both. So
let's do it.
You got a lot of competing questions. Like this is probably the most competing question I've gotten in a while. So I mean, I'm sure it's something that'll interest us both. So. What is one thing? Okay. He worded it weird, but I'll just reword it. So, what is one thing about competing that competitors know that other people don't know? So, I don't know what he's trying to say, but maybe they're trying to say, what is one thing about competing that might be hard that the average person might not know about?
I think just in general, the diet is the most difficult, part of competing. The mentality that you have to look at certain foods that are in your house and know that you're not allowed to eat them. And at the start, it's easy, week 1, week 2, but you always want what you can't have. And once it hits that 14, 16 week mark, like in prep, and you've been dieting for that long, I think that's the biggest thing, that people don't understand how difficult it is to say no to food. And food is such a big aspect of like our social life as well. So, you hunker down and you're kind of lonely during that time. So
would you say, okay, so I guess it's just because I'm different. Like just dieting wise, like food doesn't interest me. Like if I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't. So prepping for me, like that's honestly the easiest part. I just hate cardio. Like I do the cardio and whatnot, but bro, I could just like, I could walk by cookies, I could walk by pizza, I can do it. Like it doesn't bother me. And all my friends, or even like someone like yourself, they're like, bro, the food part's the hard part. I'm like, man, I wish that was me. I just hate doing cardio.
Yeah, that's the opposite for me. I'd rather eat more and just do more cardio.
Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, maybe that's with the soccer background. I don't mind cardio. That might be the
Oh yeah,
case. So.
bro, your entire sport's based on running.
Yeah, yeah.
Like jogging, something. All right. So for you specifically, this is directed you. I'll answer it too, I guess. But for you specifically, what was the hardest part about prep?
Hmm. I mean, I guess I kind of just answered it. I think the dieting was definitely the hardest part, in my opinion, and it was more of so the first like right when you start dieting, your body doesn't change that much, and you just feel like crap, honestly.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then once you get deeper in, you start feeling like you're shrinking, like you're getting smaller, and I think that's a really difficult part mentally on you, is that you have to remember that you have a goal in mind, and you can't just eat food to feel good for a certain amount of period. Like you have to look ahead. So
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely agree with that. Honestly, it comes down to it though. It's like the hardest part of prep. I think it's just I want to say like being lonely. I don't mean lonely like a significant other. Just like there's so much time that you're away from everybody, and like you have to.
mhm.
Like you're at the gym doing cardio an hour in the morning, an hour at night. You're lifting, you're doing all this. Like that's like 4 or 5 hours you're not with anybody. So I guess like you just have to learn how to be on your own in certain instances like that. You got to meal prep, you got to do all this. So if you cannot be by yourself, deal with that mentally, then like bodybuilding would not be your sport, guys. Like it's not a team sport. You were legit by yourself in certain instances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely rough having to say no to like going out with friends, and like I got to go do cardio, or I can't eat that. So it's
Yeah.
definitely rough. So it gets lonely during prep. So
Is your family supportive of bodybuilding, or like
yeah,
whoever you live with? Are they like
yeah.
they're okay with it? They
Mhm.
they care about the drug side of it. Like, do they know anything about bodybuilding, or do they just not?
Yeah, I mean the drug side is definitely my mother in specific definitely doesn't care for that side of it, but she understands the passion behind it, and
Yeah.
that I love the sport. My dad's very supportive of it, and so is my two sisters. So
Okay. Okay. No, we're good then. All right. So we'll go through some of your questions, guys. I know I got like 15 here, but you guys have literally asked like 100, so I do want to try and pick a couple. I don't want to skip them all. So if you guys ask them, just ask them again, and I'll catch up to them at the bottom. But all right, let me just go through. Anabolic beanie, yeah, bro. I'm gonna get you a Team Dyel'd beanie or something.
yeah,
Bro, you wear hats just as much as me. It's just like I wear snapbacks and you wear beanies.
yeah.
All right, I know I saw Joe at some point, but either way, I'm catching up, guys. I'm looking for a question. There's hella comments, but there's no questions. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hold on. Okay, what was the most challenging part of your last show? I mean, I guess we kind of already answered that. For him, it's most
Yeah,
of the diet part.
yeah.
The most challenging part for me specifically, guys, is because like I did 5 shows in a row, so I spaced them out within like at least a month or so. But that was the hardest shit in my life. Like my taste buds never came back. I ate pretty much chicken and tilapia for 8 months straight, and I nothing tastes good again. I could eat chicken tilapia year round, and like it's fine. All right, how do you get motivated when people you are around aren't? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, how do you stay motivated when people around you are not motivated?
I think it's more of just I love it. That's what it kind of boils down to.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. I do believe that the people you hang around, you're kind of like an accumulation of them put together is like what you are. It definitely does affect you, but yeah, I just love it. So I've never had an issue with motivation, and I hate like not being able to answer that. Like how can you get motivated? It's more of
yeah.
just you just have to fall in love with it. So
Yeah, and we're all different too, guys. Remember, like some of us have like the intrinsic and the extrinsic, meaning like the motivation comes within. Like I love winning. Then some of us have the motivation coming from the outside. Like it's so different. So how can it's kind of hard to answer at times. But if I had to give you my number one motivation, like I hate losing. Like my first show, I took fifth out of like 15 people. And I was like, bro, that's great, but I got smoked.
yeah.
And then after that, I didn't lose again. Mine's getting hurt. Like that's a big loss. But when I come back, we ain't losing, bro. we ain't losing. All right. Okay. When was the money you knew love? Oh, okay. When was the minute you knew that you love fitness?
Hmm. Honestly, it was probably the first 3 months I started working out when I was about 16, and I got in the gym, and I saw a change in my body in those 3 months, because you have newbie games
Yeah, of course.
that come on pretty quick. So
Yeah.
once I saw that, I was like, wow, if I stay consistent with this, what could I look like a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
Yeah.
So that was definitely the deciding factor for me, is when I just fell in love with it. And then when I started watching bodybuilding, when I saw David Lade posting YouTube videos, Chris Bumstead, stuff like that. So.
Were you training like a bodybuilder at all when you were playing soccer, or like did you just straight up just play soccer? So you
Yeah,
did a little bit of both.
my coach was not too happy with me because I started bulking because I was like, if I want to do this, I have to actually, put on some size. I was eating Chick-fil-A. I think I've said this before, but I was eating Chick-fil-A 3 times a day. We had a Chick-fil-A on campus.
3 times a day?
Yeah, so it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. And I put on, that was my first dirty bulk, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to play soccer at that point because I had put on so much weight, and my coach was so mad at me. He was like, it's either that or this. You can't do both. And so I was like, all right, well,
Bro, how did, not even talking about the sport, but how'd your cholesterol deal with that? I mean, I love Chick-fil-A. That's my #1 fast food restaurant, but 3 times a day?
Yeah,
bro.
it was rough. It was, I guess the cardio did keep me in shape, but yeah, it wasn't too good, to get out of breath walking up the stairs. So
I could imagine, but
yeah.
I mean, as long as it was worth it. All right, bro. You've asked 25 times, bro. Does SARMs mess with your hormones? By the time you could have asked that the 20 times, you could have Googled it. They for sure mess with your hormones. 100%. Yes. All right. How do you know if you have the genetics for bodybuilding? Okay, if I have the potential. I don't know. So I'd have to say that only people who ask me this question, guys, like just anything genetic related, like what is your potential, is typically like people who are like 16 to 19, right? Because typically adults don't usually ask that question. I mean, they do, but it's typically just younger kids. So if you guys are worried about that, like when you're like 16 to 18, guys, you should be training for fun. Just like get your meals in, go to the gym, like enjoy it. Because every day I get DMs from like somebody be like, yo, how's my back look? I'm like, it looks dope. They're like, all right, cool. Can I compete? I was like, how old are you? They're like, I'm 15. I was like, bro, you have 5 years before you're going to compete. Like it's too young.
You never really know your genetics until, you actually train for a couple of years anyway. So I wouldn't worry about it,
Yeah.
Don't try to limit yourself by saying, at the start, oh, well, I'm not gaining this because I just have, horrible genetics. So you never know.
And you got to remember, guys, and girls too, like every ethnicity, every person, like we all have different genetics. Like, some black people have this, white people have this. So like our shape's going to be different. And on top of that, your age is going to have to do with it. Look at your parents. Like, are they in shape? Are they shorter? Like there's so many genetics that we're all different. So like, I mean, my parents, no one in my family ever worked out. And like, I was like, you know what? I kind of like working out. I'm going to try this. And then like, I thought it was going to be 170 pounds at 6'1" my entire life. I actually tried and I got to 200 pounds with ease, naturally. I was like, oh shit. I guess you can't base my genetics off of my parents. You never know until you try, at least. All right. How do you make time with crazy? Okay. So yeah. So this is one of my clients who's doing his first show. So how do you make time with a crazy work schedule? So when you were prepping and you had like schoolwork and all kind of stuff, like how did you make sure to make time for what you were doing?
It was just, I sacrificed a lot. So no girlfriend, no friends really.
Yeah.
No friends like, in person hanging out. Obviously I would text people, but it was pretty much just wake up. It was go to class or class online at that point. And then it was just go to the gym and do cardio and cook my meals. That was literally it. I didn't talk to anybody else. It was,
Nice.
That's just how it had to be for me to, get to where I wanted to get. So.
Well, on a positive note, man, I know I've been competing longer than you or just in the fitness world in general. Like, you have to have that mindset. I know it sucks and it sounds so stupid to people who know nothing about fitness, but like, there are times where you do have to kind of cut things out that you don't want to. Like, I was my last year in college and I was like, you know what? I got my ass kicked last year. I'm not letting it happen again. So I didn't party for like, it was my last 4 months of college before graduating. I was like, I'm not going out. I'm going to train for the show. I'm going to get as big as possible. I'm going to get as shredded as possible. And I was like, you know what? It turned out well. But yeah, you guys are going to have to sacrifice something. Sometimes you can't have social life, then your family, then your girlfriend, and then party. Like, you just can't do it. You can, but, you might get smoked on stage by, someone like you.
You can't spread out your eggs in too many baskets. So
Exactly. Were you mad when you got hurt? Did I ever tell you my story how I got hurt? Or did you not?
Actually, no, I don't know anything about that.
I'll I'll tell everybody I know. A lot of people probably would heard, but I'll say the dumbed down version of it. So, it was like late 2018 or early 2019, somewhere in that time frame. You know, the end of the year. So I was squatting. I was 15 weeks out from nationals. I started 20 weeks out prepping. So I was squatting 405. My foot slipped. I got crushed by the bar. Long story short. So it wasn't really that bad. Like, yeah, it hurt, but I kept training the next couple of days, and like it made it 10 times worse. And like my back was tweaked, my neck was tweaked, my knee was tweaked. And, like, I didn't realize how bad it was. And throughout the year, like I was just super dizzy. I just had hella issues for all of 2019. And yeah, that's where I'm at now. I didn't get to touch a weight from 2019 up until probably about 6 months ago. So it's a rough time. But to answer your question, Pablo, was I mad? I wasn't mad, guys. I've never been depressed in my life. That was the only time in my life I was actually genuinely depressed, because I got hurt. And then my sponsor called me and said, "You're fired." Then I got fired from work. Like, everything's happened in like a 1 month period. I was like, well, fuck, bro.
Oh,
you know, like that's just the way it goes. So yeah, I wasn't mad. I was the exact opposite. But that's a long story short. Don't get hurt. Don't lift heavy. All right. Okay, I just started taking LGT and I'm 18. Any bulking tips on SARMs? Yes, get off before you die. Okay. Oh, how much weight did you gain post-show? Like I saw your eating videos on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good question. So right now I'm sitting at around 178, which is about 10 pounds up from my lowest stage weight, which was around 168. Post Thanksgiving, that night I hit 190. Nice. So I mean, I think I'm pretty stable right now, 10 pounds up, and I feel good. I'm still pretty lean. Energy levels are back to normal. So I think this is probably my maintenance where I'm starting out at. But yeah, the most I rebounded was 190. So it was a little bit better than last time. I mean, last prep, because I did one show before this, the Dexter Jackson in Jacksonville, and I got fifth place from that. Okay. I ballooned right after. I didn't, reverse whatsoever. And this time I like kind of reversed. So yeah, I definitely feel a lot better this time.
Did you have the same coach for both shows, or did you flip-flop?
No, I coached myself for the first show. And then this show, I coached myself all the way for 10 weeks. And then the last 6 weeks, I got a coach because I was just getting stressed out with school and stuff. And I just needed someone just to tell me what to do to make me feel a little better. Nice. So I had, his name's Ed, and I had him for the last 6 weeks of prep. And now I'm just back on my own. So for right now.
All right, cool. What is the game plan for? Are you going to bulk for a while? Are you trying to compete like 6 months from now? What is your like actual goal here?
Yeah, the goal is to lean bulk and try to bring up some weak points that I have, and then probably for about three months is the goal, and then another 4. I might even be able to do a 3 month cut if I do stay lean enough. So we'll see. So probably a 6 to 8 month period for me for my next show.
Nice. I plan to do the exact same thing. The second, where you're at, are gyms open? Like, is everything normal?
Yeah. And I do have a friend who does have like a full home gym, so if they do get closed down, I should be covered. But
nice. Yeah. Hey, it's better than nothing, man. Even if you got some dumbbells, you can definitely get a full workout in.
Oh yeah.
All right, Weston isn't natty. I mean, even if he wasn't, it's none of your guys' business, guys. Even if I wasn't, it's really none of anybody's business if they are, but. And the number one thing you guys shouldn't do, this applies to him, it doesn't even apply to him, it applies to me too. Like, you never want to like DM somebody like, yo, what are you taking? Because at the end of the day, guys, these drugs are illegal, especially like in America. I don't know where you guys are at, but in America, they're legal. That's like walking up to someone, yo, are you on Molly? Are you on crack? Like, you can't do that. I know it's more common in the fitness world, but you can't ask people what drug they're on. It's quite offensive to do so. So I know no one's hating. I'm just trying to let you guys know, don't DM somebody, yo, what's your cycle? It's one of the most disrespectful things you can do. I know you want to know, but don't do it. It's a quick way to get blocked. But either way. All right. In your diet, this is kind of random, but in your diet, did you use fresh vegetables? Did you use frozen?
That's an interesting question. So last prep, I actually used all frozen. And this prep, I fell in love with zucchini. So it was I'd just go to the store and buy 8 zucchinis. And I'd eat one with every meal. So definitely, it was fresh this time. So.
All right. Yeah. No, I do the same thing, guys. Whatever's on sale, it's like, even if I had money, I just buy whatever's cheap. I'm the cheapest person in the world. If frozen vegetables are on sale, I'm going to buy frozen vegetables. I don't know. I don't notice a difference in my physique. The only time I'll try and buy something that's really, really high quality is like the last 4 weeks out from a show. Like when it's like really like crunch time, that's when I'll probably spend a little bit more money and get some like the highest quality tilapia I can, or like something like, you know, something like that. But all right. What is the best degree? Okay. Do you have any personal training certificates or anything like that?
Yeah, for NASM.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they asked, what's the best college degree for personal training, and what is the best personal training like certificate? So NASM is definitely one of them. You know.
Yeah, NASM. The only ones I know is like NASM, and then I think one that starts with an A or something. I'm not really sure. But I think one of my friends did exercise, um, exercise science. I'm actually not sure. I have
Yeah.
no idea. I'm in a different realm. I'm
Yeah.
in
You're
business
busy.
and accounting, so
Yeah.
I'm actually, I have no clue.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, guys, my undergrad was in kinesiology. I emphasize on I want to be a physical therapist. So it was physical therapy and nutrition. Then for my master's, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a physical therapist. It doesn't interest me. So I have my master's in exercise physiology and nutrition, which is
Okay.
kind of like strength and conditioning. So I could work as like a strength coach for like a professional team. But at the end of the day, I like owning my own team. So I kind of like that. But all right. But for personal training though, the NASM, and then it's the ISSA. I don't know how to pronounce, but it's like
That's the
yeah,
one. That's the one I
I
was thinking
forgot
of.
to find. Yeah, the ISSA something.
Yeah,
All
those are the
right.
two that I know. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were training, how many days on, how many days off? Like were you doing
So
5 days
it,
on, whatever?
it was a 6 day. So at the start, it was 7 days a week, just because I had so much energy, starting with prep, and then
Yeah.
once I got into it and I actually, did prep correctly, and ate what I was supposed to eat and didn't eat what I wasn't supposed to eat,
Yeah.
I knocked it down to 6, and then by the time the show was coming around, I was down to 5. So yeah,
Okay. Cool.
you definitely, if you're prepping correctly, you're not going to want to be training, 7 days a week.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest mistake my first show, because I was so dead set that I was like, man, I'm natural. I have so much to prove. I know everybody's gonna be on gear. Like I need to work harder. And I was just training every day. I think I would do 14 days on, 1 day off, and that was one of the most stupidest things to do, bro. I was
Yeah,
just shrinking day by day, no appetite, nothing.
yeah.
So when I bulk, I do 5 days. Sorry, not 5 days on, but I train 5 days per week. When I cut, I typically do 6 days per week. I just switch it up, you know. It
Okay.
also depends if I was natural or not. That plays a role, but you know, either way, as long as it works. Okay, so this person said, similar to how I look up to you guys, who are some people that you two look up to? So who's like your fitness idol or coach or anybody that you look up to in the fitness world?
So definitely, I hate to say it, but Chris Bumstead. I know everybody always says him.
Yeah, I mean,
David Lade was, yeah. David Lade was one of the first people I really started looking up to aesthetics wise, not bodybuilding, but more aesthetics.
yeah,
And a guy that I really look up to who's in men's physique is Stephen Cow. So I really look up to him.
okay, yeah, he's sick, bro, especially for his age. I don't know if
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's a top 5 yet. I think in the next 2 to 3 years he will definitely be
Oh,
in
he
that.
will. He will.
For sure.
He will.
He's
Oh,
getting his
100%.
back is getting thicker and thicker and thicker.
His frame is just insane. His waist, the proportions, they're just, and they're
Yeah.
unheard of. So
And you got to remember he's Asian too. Like Asian people have the most ridiculous conditioning. Like that's
they
just
really
their
do.
genetic makeup, you know.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So whoever said they said something about trend, my client answered trend is not something. Yeah, don't use trend, guys. There's a lot. I'm not saying you should use steroids, but there's a lot of steroids out there, and there's a lot that should come before you jump straight up to this, bro. You wouldn't go from marijuana to heroin. You wouldn't do it. So you're not gonna just go straight to trend. It's not something you should do. All right. All right. Either way. Okay, do you feel okay? That was kind of a weird question. This is what I wrote down. I just wrote any that I thought were unique. So they said, in your opinion, do you feel that people outside of bodybuilding, so it's average people who don't work out, they're not into bodybuilding. So do you feel that people outside of bodybuilding think that bodybuilding is gay, or that most bodybuilders are gay for like having such an obsession with like the male physique?
I guess that's a good question.
Yeah.
Not I don't really think that. I think it's more of like a conceited kind of thing. I think it's more people see it as being conceited, and all you care about is looks, and even I've had to explain to multiple people in my life that it's not about that. It's about just, it's like art. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I have a vision and I want to make it happen, and I think it's the best thing in the world that it's on my body, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like building a like a character like in a video game, but it's in real life. And I
Yeah.
just think that's awesome because I used to play RuneScape when I was a kid, and it's kind of like the same. I'm just building, you know, I'm building a character, and it's no one can take it away from me, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Nothing. So I have a funny story about this. So I can't remember what I think I was a senior in high school, right? One of my cousins he's actually a pro bodybuilder in open. He's in jail now. It doesn't matter. But you know, he was a pro at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was always shredded. I was literally bone dry at 18, like just shredded six pack no matter what I did. And we were at the beach one day. He's like, "Yo, you should be a bodybuilder." He's like, "You ever heard of this guy like Buendia something?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, well, there's like these young guys that are like making hundreds of $1,000s like with their physique. Like, you should do it. You're shredded without trying." I was like, "No, that's gay. Like, why would I want to be on stage with men?" And like 3 years later, I was like, you know what, workout's kind of fun. And like, it kind of progressed from there. And I was like, wow, you know what? Being like an outsider looking at it, I looked at the sport, I was like, no, this is stupid. Why would I want to be in underwear on stage? Like, you know, it just didn't make any sense. So now I think I get what people are saying when they see it like that, you know, like
Well,
I get what you're trying to say because they don't know.
it's definitely like a male
I think
beauty
you're breaking.
pageant. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely like a male beauty pageant. And I mean, just to put this out there is that, you know, if you're working out to get, you know, compliments from girls and to get girls' attention, you're going to get more attention from guys for your physique.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You know, guys will admire your physique and say, you know, they understand the effort that went into, you know, get that, and they want that. Girls really, you know, they're not going to really care. So,
Yep.
for the most part.
Honestly, guys, if you guys go in public, let's just say, like anytime I was shredded, I'd always make sure to go out in public just because I was a tool like that. I was just a douchebag. Like, it was just something fun I like to do, you know? Like, I wouldn't go talk to anybody. I would just go walk with my friends. And like, I'd always go to this boardwalk in Santa Cruz, and that was like the main thing all our friends would go to. And I'd always have like a dude just come up and grab my arm and be like, "Nice biceps, bro. Like, nice chest. How'd you build that?" Girls would never do that. Girls would just walk up and like touch you, but a guy would for sure do it. It's like, bro, it's so weird. You know, I would never do that, but people just like, they get so shocked that see like, you know, the human body can change into something so crazy. You know, like they only see it in magazines. They don't see 5% body fat in person often. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, guys. Saw a couple questions. Am I going Joe Sculpted Physique? Yeah, that's dope. Okay, hold on. I want to be like Rich Piana. He's dead. What?
R.I.P.
Yeah, I really like Rich Piana. All right. Okay. Do you have any advice to anybody who likes drinking but wants to get into bodybuilding? I guess that's what they're trying to say.
Huh.
Did you ever drink on your prep, or that's just not something that interests you?
I'm one of those weird people that alcohol just doesn't do it for me. So I don't drink whatsoever. And that's like on prep, off prep. It just it doesn't do anything for me. But I guess, you know, maybe like vodka waters is like the only thing you could really do. I'm not really sure about that either. I don't know a lot about alcohol, so.
Yeah. No. I don't drink, guys. Similar to you. Honestly, I'm 99% sure I'm allergic to it, bro. Like, anytime I drank in college, I'd get so sick, and like not even like hammered. Like, I just had 3-shot, bro. I'd be sick as hell. So I'm pretty sure I'm ordered something, but I don't know. But yeah, guys, it does slow down the absorption of your protein, carbs, fats, all that. So it's not necessarily the calories in the alcohol that's damaging. It's the fact that if you drank at like 10 p.m. at night and you had all that, you know, the street hot dog or whatever you're going to have, you know, when you're partying at, you know, 11 o'clock p.m., your body's going to be so focused on burning off the alcohol that it's not really going to have the time to burn off all those, you know, the nutrients you consume, you know, the protein, fats, carbs from the food. And if that food it doesn't get absorbed within a certain amount of time, your body's going to save it as fat. So unintentionally, the alcohol can do more damage than you would think. It's like, it's not the alcohol. It's like the following effect, if that makes sense. So that's what you got to worry about. It's like, it's not the White Claw, guys. It's the 10 donuts you had after the White Claw that's not getting absorbed fast enough. You know, that's typically what it is.
Yeah, the only time I drank was I had a shot of vodka the night before the competition. That's about it. So.
I've heard a lot of people doing it. They banned it in the NPC most shows. If they see you, they'll throw you out of the show. If you do it.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll do it right before like going on stage?
Yeah. They banned it 2017, I think, because there was young kids like drinking vodka before the stage.
Oh, no.
So they're like, so they didn't let anybody do it. You know? But all right. Okay, when you were bulking, right? Okay, do you ever lower your carbs? Sorry, do you lower your macros on your rest days when you're bulking, or do you just have like every single day you eat the exact same amount?
I just try to aim for the same amount. Even on my rest days, I still, when I'm bulking, or I guess lean bulking, I'm trying to. Uh, I do 30 minutes of cardio every single day.
Sheet.
Uh,
Okay, okay.
and that's, I just enjoy doing that. It makes me feel productive. So even on my rest days, I do 30 minutes of cardio. So I always keep my calories the same.
Nice. Okay, now I'm probably gonna do the same. My bulk, or sorry, my cut's gonna end in like a week. I just did it for fun, but
Yeah.
definitely time to put on, a solid 30, 40 pounds and come back. So, for what I'm gonna do, I don't know how big you want to get. I want to be Raymond big. That's just my image in my head. It's just something that interests me. But yeah, guys, I typically don't have like a lower carb day or lower anything unless the rest day, unless I know for a fact I'm gonna have like 2 days off. Like tomorrow, I'm donating blood, so I'm doing low carb today, low carb tomorrow because I know I'm not gonna do shit for 2 days. Like I don't need the food, But besides that, no, you'll be all right. Okay. Have you ever tried? I mean, I probably already know the answer to this for you, but have you ever tried injectable L-carnitine?
I have not. I have not. I mean, I do. I've tried the like liquid stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could inject it.
Yeah,
So
it's very how do I say this? So like your liquid one's like 1,000 milligrams per whatever, right? Or 1,000 whatever it is.
yeah,
So when you inject it, you get like the pure potency of it. Like, it's like 90% or 89%. When you take the liquid or you take a pill, you only get like 40%. So it's like you're getting a higher dose of it. So that's the idea of it.
yeah,
So I haven't tried it. I do know people who have tried it. I've seen it in front of me. It's like if I'm gonna inject myself, it's gonna be like testosterone. It's not gonna be with
yeah,
L-carnitine.
yeah.
Like
I don't know about that. I don't think it's that big of that big of a deal to go to that extent. So
yeah.
yeah,
All right, Osterine, guys, it's trash. I took it. I logged everything. Anything I've ever taken, I logged all of it. It's trash. My blood work was trash. Best PEDs. That probably wouldn't be wise to answer that. I figure what I want to say. Okay. Either way, moving on. Okay. Okay. So best tips for women who are trying to get into fitness. So maybe more getting into the bodybuilding. I don't know if you're familiar with coaching women or women at all in like the fitness
I
world.
mean,
Any tips
uh,
for women that you like to give?
yeah. I mean, one of my best friends, she actually just went pro, like natural pro.
Mm.
Got her natural pro card. I think the biggest thing that I see within them is you have to you can't worry about what other people are thinking about you, because there's this stigma that girls with muscle, blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
I think I think it's awesome. So that would be my advice, is don't worry about what other people are thinking. If you want it and you want to be a female bodybuilder, then go all in and enjoy the process. So there's not really a big difference between a man and a woman training. I mean,
Yeah.
I work out with plenty of females, and they train, just as hard as me, if
Yeah.
not even harder. So,
Some of them are stronger, bro. Some of them,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
women definitely have a higher pain tolerance than men in certain instances. So, like, imagine they
there's
use that
definitely.
same mentality to training.
Mhm.
They'd be strong as hell.
Yep. I agree 100%. So,
So he covered that aspect of it. Oh, first off, I want to say I saw that video with her, bro. She's jacked. Like she's
yeah,
shredded.
she is.
She
She
is
is. She's
built.
she's like 0.5 pounds up from stage weight, and she did the same competition for me. So
Jesus.
she's very strict, and her reverse dieting is just insane. So I'm jealous.
All right, all right. But yeah, no, just a couple of tips for women, guys. I'd say over the last 6 months, there's been a trend going on. So let's say 2019 or so, or early 2020, I had a lot of women come to me for coaching, and they all want to be like they want to be skinny. Like that was like their main goal. And like I don't know what's going on now, but they all want to be super thick. I think it's because they're seeing like all the Instagram models with like these super fat, like big butts, but they don't know that like they're fake. Like it's really easy to pick out guys. Um, you can look at them and like if they have a perfectly round butt, but they have no hamstrings and no quads, so there's little legs and like big cheeks, like it's fake. It's really easy to point out. So
Yeah.
my best advice is stop comparing yourself to others. I don't know how women think compared to men. We're different, but I know women do like to compare themselves to other people, especially on social media. So don't compare yourself to them. That's the worst thing you could do. We don't have the same genetics. When you go to the gym, do not be scared to lift weights. You're not going to get bulky. Me and him are probably going to train as hard as we can for the rest of our life, and we're never going to get super bulky. It'll never happen. We'll never get as big as we want. So,
Yeah.
as women lifting weights, you're not going to magically get buff. It's not going to happen. But that's just my general advice, just have fun with it. Same as anybody else, but don't compare yourself to others. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. All right. L-carnitine. It's a what's it called? It's a non-stim fat burner. I'd have to do a video on it. It's kind of complex when you really break down what it actually does. What is your least favorite muscle group to train?
That's a good question. Probably, honestly, it's probably arms. I don't know what it is. When I first started working out, arms was the only thing I wanted to do. And now I just hate them. I think they're just boring. My favorite body part specifically would be upper chest, and then probably back, then legs, and then shoulders. But arms are just I don't like them.
We might be twins, bro. I love upper chest is my number one, back is second. But I hate training arms only because my arm genetics are shit, and I can't get a quality pump in my arms like I can like my chest, back, shoulders, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, I don't even look for, I'm doing arms after I get off this, but I'm not looking forward to it. It's just this doesn't interest me.
They're boring. So
you got to do it. Okay. Did you guys look up to anybody when you first started fitness?
Those guys that I already said pretty much.
Yeah.
But older would be Arnold, obviously looked up to, Lee Priest.
Yeah.
People like that. So.
All right. So are both of you guys natural? We're both actually combined 37% natural, just to give you guys
half natty.
Yeah, we're both 30% natural. Do the math. All right. So
20 grams of creatine. So
yes. So are you attracted to fitness women? If you had a girlfriend, would you want to be a gym addict like you, or would you not want to be in it? And then if so, would you want her to compete with you?
Yeah, I think my most healthy relationship, a lot of them haven't been healthy. But I think my most healthy relationship was someone who had the same passion for the gym as me. I mean, we would train together and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely an important part of someone that I would want as a significant other. And as far as competing would go, if she wanted to compete, I mean, I'd be down. Going through prep together would be a lot easier than not going through prep with your significant other.
Maybe I don't know. There might be.
It could get to the point where you're both just so irritated and hungry that you just want to kill each other. But at the same time, you understand. Someone who doesn't compete won't understand why you're acting that way.
Yeah.
If they've been through it, then they'll understand. So
yeah, I think that was the biggest problem I had. Anybody I was dating, I was doing a show, bro. They just don't unless they've been through it, they don't know. Same as what you said. They don't know why you're acting like that. You're not trying to be a dick to people. You're not trying to be grumpy. You just, you're doing it to yourself. You signed up for it, but at the same time, it's you can't change the way you feel about something.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. Okay, do you take any greens powders? Do you have powder greens, or you eat all your greens? What do you do for that?
Yeah, I eat all my greens. As far as supplements go, vitamins, I guess I can cover that though. Fish oil, magnesium, B12, because I was vegan for a while, so I still have that, and I still take it every now and then. Yeah, I was for a little bit, just to try it out. And then D3, I believe.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Biotin. So
you pretty much take a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I pretty much take all that, just not biotin. I added in vitamin K2 for the heart health, but that's for other, future down the line reasons that you might need as a bodybuilder. But okay. Do you think you could date someone who doesn't work out though? You think that would work, or just be terrible? Because I know that's pretty much what he's asking. I personally could not at all.
I mean, I've had girls that didn't work out, but that was back when I wasn't as serious as I am now with lifting. So
yeah.
There's no telling, honestly. I know opposites attract, but there's no telling.
All right. I personally couldn't do it. not even slightly.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever done a full cheat day? Didn't you do a YouTube video? Didn't you do a full day of cheating or something? Did you do that? Or
I didn't, but
you might.
I cheat all the time if I'm not in prep. So last night, I'm puffy still from how much I ate last night. I had I had around 4,000 calories last night. I had like a whole frozen pizza. I had a public sub. I had a whole bag of cheddar sun chips, and I had like 8 cookies.
Damn, bro.
I mean, when I'm craving something and I want it, then I'll eat it, and then I'll be good for a week. So that's just kind of how I do it.
I wish my body could do that. Like everybody's always like, yo, go make like a 5,000 or whatever 10,000 calorie challenge, but I can't do it. I could only have like meals spaced out. Like I can't have one meal. Like my body reject. I'll just puke everywhere.
Yeah,
so like
I could eat.
Yeah, I could eat and then an hour later be starving again, but I can't do it like at once. I don't know. You guys are gifted.
Yeah, I have no shame in admitting that, I'm not a machine. Like if I'm craving something, I have cravings. I'm definitely gonna, I definitely fall off the wagon multiple times. So
did you cheat on your diet in prep? If so, like was it towards the end or was it towards the beginning? Like was it 8 weeks out or was it like 12 out?
So in my personal opinion, I think I peaked a week and a half out. That's when I looked my best, and I wish I would have gone on stage at that moment. But definitely. So I had a bunch of exams the week of. So that like Monday through Friday before the Saturday of the show, I had a bunch of exams, and it was peak week. And I was trying to sit down and study, and I just got so frustrated. And I just sat there for like 30 minutes staring at my screen. I was like, I can't do it. I was like, my mind will not think without carbohydrates.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you even focusing, bro?
Yeah, so I went downstairs and I made like 5-6 servings of Captain Crunch or Reese's Puffs or whatever, and I just had that like 3 nights in a row. And I mean, thankfully, I was so lean that week and a half out that it really didn't affect me that much. But I really wonder, if I didn't have all that going on, what I could have maybe won.
That might have been one of those things, bro, where you probably should just had like a Reese's cup or something small. Like it wouldn't have done much. It would have like give you that, and you could have kept going. You probably shouldn't hit the 5 bowls of Captain Crunch.
Yeah, that's just what it is. So,
but it's an early carb up. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
Did you for your show? Did you use any diuretics, or did you just straight up just cut water? Did you use something natural, or did you actually need something like strong?
So the last prep I did use a diuretic, and it honestly just I think my body naturally can get the water out, and it made me flat because it brought all the water out of my muscle as well.
Yeah.
And so this time I didn't use a diuretic, and I cut water, I believe 5 p.m. the night before or something like that.
All right.
Or some I honestly can't remember, but so I started at like a gallon, and then a gallon and a half, and then I was drinking 2 gallons that week, and then I cut. So, yeah.
So, okay. No, that's fine. I was going to say, if you would have taken a diuretic and you cut water at 5 p.m., bro, you wouldn't have woke up. You would have had some heart issues when you woke up in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Chest is where I lack a lot compared to everything else. Do I double up on chest days? Yeah. If you want to give me any tips, do you have any tips on growing a better chest? I'll hop in after.
A lot of people disagree, but if you want to gain like mind muscle connection, specifically with your upper chest, Smith machine is the way to go, in my opinion, because you can go past failure. You can do like forced reps. You can do negatives. So I incorporated that, and it changed how I felt my upper chest when I would switch over to barbell or switch over to dumbbell. So that's
I've tried Smith machine before. I don't know what it is. I think it must just be the ones at my gym. It didn't feel natural to me. I don't know what it is. Okay. It's like my left pec is bigger than my right one. So when I went down, I'd always noticed my left one was just getting more work than my right one. So I cut out the Smith machine, but I did do the incline hammer strength. That was king for me. And then incline bench press with like my 2 go-tos. But in terms of the mind muscle connection, guys, I think the biggest issue people have for chest is like they go straight to the gym, and what's the first thing they do? They go straight to the flat barbell bench press, which is cool. I mean, I don't do it. Do you do flat barbell ever, or is that?
No, I haven't done flat barbell in probably 2-3 years.
Same here. Okay. Notice we do not do flat barbell bench press. We typically stick with machines or some Smith machine. But the reason for that, guys, is like you don't need to do barbell in most instances. You can, but I always want to start with like a cable fly or a pec deck or just something that forces all the blood into whatever part of my body I'm working. And even when I do my first set of incline dumbbell bench press, I will do 1 set super light, squeezing as hard as I can and
Yep.
focusing on what part of my pec that I want to be feeling it in. So when I go heavier, I know, okay, I feel it right here. But then you'll see someone at the gym grab like the hundreds and just start slamming. I'm like, there's no way, bro. You know, like
Yep.
it,
Yep.
it kind of took me a while to learn. But a couple years ago, like the crunch I work out at, I have like 5 Olympians that work out there. Like, I don't know if there's another crunch in the world that has 5 Olympians, but mine does. So like, I would just stare at them, bro. Like when I was done working out, I'd be doing cardio. I was like, I'm just going to stare at them and see what they're doing. And like one of them, his name's Dean. He's an Olympian in men's physique. You might know him. He's like an Asian guy. But bro, he's one of the nastiest chests I've ever seen. And I would just watch him grab like 50s on incline and just slow squeeze. It's like, so he has a big chest, and this 19-year-old kid is doing 120s for 2 reps. Who am I going to watch? Who am I going to copy? So like, that's kind of where I started picking things up. Like, wow, these dudes really aren't lifting that heavy, and they look amazing. So, you know.
Yeah, you gotta leave your ego at the door sometimes. So.
Absolutely. Why do you drink so many Bangs? Are you the CEO of Bang, bro?
Dude, I'm honestly, I need to take like a caffeine break, but yeah, I mean, with finals week, they've been helping me a lot. I drink way too many, caffeine or just coffee in general. So
Yeah. I've had like 2 Bangs my entire life. I don't know. It just kind of tastes like, it didn't taste like whatever, but it was like a Rockstar to me, or like a Red Bull. I don't know. It
yeah,
like,
they're like the same. They're all the same thing.
yeah. Oh, what's up, Flores? My bad, bro. I didn't see you. What's good? All right. Why don't you flat bench? Or I guess, why don't we flat bench?
I mean, my reason is shoulder issues, and also the movement never felt natural for me. I don't know if it's my body structure or I don't know, but that's just why. So
Yeah, no, mine's similar, guys. It's like, I was a pitcher when I played baseball, so it's like my right shoulder's always kind of been tweaked forever. So when I bench, it's like my shoulder would take a beating. But at the same time, I could bench a little over 315, and like it just did, like my chest wasn't growing. However, when I switched to dumbbells, I switched to machines, I switched to more cables, like my chest was growing like a weed. I was like, okay, well, why do I care about doing this? And like, it hurts my shoulders, it hurts my elbows. You know, sometimes it hurts my grip when I squeeze it too hard. Why would I just go to machine to get a bigger chest? You know, like that's my reason. And I really think that flat barbell is one of the reasons that people get hurt. Like, it's such a common exercise that people tear themselves apart. Weston,
one of my friends just commented in quotation shoulder issues. he's one of my friends that actually got me into lifting. And Flores just said you need to watch Attack on Titan, by the way.
I don't know what that is.
It's an anime. It's an anime.
Oh, he is the CEO of anime. Yes.
Yeah,
I can't. I mean, I don't think I've ever really watched anime. I mean, I could watch it, I guess. switch it up. All right, hold on, guys. There's a couple more questions. You got like 10 more minutes or so? I know I don't want to hold you here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you have any muscle imbalances, and what advice would you give someone to help them fix their muscle imbalances?
Noticeably, that I notice, muscle imbalances within like the same group would be my left lat is a little bit less developed than my right lats. Obviously, my left arm is a little, I think it's like 1/4 of an inch smaller than my right arm, which is normal, you know, if you have a dominant arm. Other than that, I mean, muscle imbalances, I'd say like proportion wise, my legs are obviously not where they need to be compared to my upper body. But to fix that, obviously, if it's like a whole muscle group, target that more than or focus on it more than your other muscle groups. That's why I won't hit rear delts, because my rear delts are just overdeveloped for some reason. So I actually won't hit them, because I guess I get the work done through back exercises. And I don't really focus on the front delt that much, because I get a lot of that through incline. So I guess it would just focus on that muscle group. And if it's within the same muscle group and one side's bigger than the other, just do isolation. Do more reps with one side is what I would do. So
I do the exact same thing. I'll hop in that too. I did want to point out though, I don't think I've ever heard someone say, "Yo, my rear delts are too big." Like, I've someone say like, "Yo,
well, I mean, bodybuilding's all about
overdeveloped rear delts right there. Like, he needs to stop doing rear delts." Like, when have you heard that? That's wild. That's dope. It's a cool problem to have, you know. Like, everybody is walking around with these big ass front delts with no lateral delt, no roundness, no coconut, and then they're just flat as hell in the back. You know,
it's weird, because I really don't do them, and they, you know,
genetics, bro.
It's just the way it is. So.
All right. Why do you guys focus on incline?
In my opinion, I think that genetics wise, most people are gifted like with their lower chest being more developed than their upper chest.
Yep.
And so from that, and I always heard older bodybuilders during the classic era always talk about how, you need to work on your upper chest, you need to work on your upper chest. And I always saw Arnold. Arnold had, this huge, massive upper chest.
Yeah.
And so I focus on that the most. And now I'm to the point where my upper chest is more developed than my lower chest. So now I'm having to go back and I'm doing decline now. So,
yeah.
So.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with like what I know you guys are going to know the word upper chest, but for those who don't know, like the part that pops out of your tank top, like it's the part that makes you look really dope in a tank top. The part that's popping straight out. That's what you want. Because when you're on stage and you're posing, it gives you like a really like crazy 3D look. Because like I've never heard someone say, "Yo, I'm gonna go focus on decline." Like it doesn't happen. Most of us are, like you said, already born with the bottom of our chest. The upper chest is what really makes it pop. Kind of similar to our arms. If someone has really, really nice triceps, their arms are gonna look amazing. Versus they have really big triceps and really big biceps and no triceps, it looks stupid. Like it's one of those things. There's not really a whole lot you can do. Do Hispanics have good genetics in bodybuilding? Yes and no. Depending. So I'll try and answer this. So Ishmael, he's one of the men's physique pros. He's one of the best in the world. So he's kind of different. A lot of Hispanics are typically shorter and stockier, which is great for bodybuilding, but it wouldn't be good for men's physique if that makes sense. Men's physique, you want a super small waist, kind of broad shoulders, and that's not the typical Mexican Hispanic look. It's just not. They're a little bit more shorter and stocky. So they do really well in like actual 212 bodybuilding, anything like that. They typically build mass relatively easy. They do struggle with conditioning, meaning your lower body fat. And that's just my opinion. That's just my experience with people of that, ethnicity. Do you need a diet break? Do you ever take diet breaks when you're bulking, or are you just going to straight up bulk for 6 months?
I mean, my like how I set up my dieting is I'll do decently strict for 3 days, and then that fourth day I'll do strict for breakfast and lunch, or it'll be my first 3 meals, and then the last 2 meals that I would, because I eat 5 meals in a day, the last 2 meals I'd combine into one, and it's a cheat meal. So it's like 3 days on, and then 1 day, and I have that half. And I think that's like a good window of time to where I can focus on those 3 days, and I feel like I can actually get through them to get to that fourth day, and then that's how I do it.
So are you referring to carb cycling? Is that what you're talking about for this?
No, that's on my bulk. It's pretty much, I guess that's just my cheat day template, I guess is what I would.
Yeah, no, okay, no, I understand. I was like, I wonder if he's talking about carb cycling. That's like his actual bulking plan. No, that's dope. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's just when you guys are bulking or cutting, it does really benefit you to have a period of time off of what you're doing. So let's say for me, this is probably my 16th week of cutting. I did lose like 35 pounds getting back into shape. And in those 16 weeks, probably about week 12, I did take 1 full week off, not from lifting, not from anything. I just upped my calories, not dirty food, nothing like that. But I made sure around Thanksgiving week that I upped my food for at least 3 to 4 days from cleaner sources. And then when I came back, my body started burning like a furnace. And my body was physically hotter for the next like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you do need to give your body a break, especially when you're cutting. When you're bulking, it's a bit different. There's a little bit more science that goes into it. If you guys follow me, you know that I showed like the blood glucose monitor. I do check that pretty often, at least twice a week when I'm going to be bulking, to make sure my insulin sensitivity is right. My glucose number is under 90, so my body's utilizing carbs properly. If it is not, you're going to be turning yourself diabetic. You're going to ruin your insulin sensitivity. You're not going to utilize carbs the way you should. So for example, my one client, Brett, he's 6'3", 235 right now, just absolutely ridiculous and still lean. But his insulin sensitivity is still low, but I have him eating 700 grams of carbs per day. But if, let's say, you ate 700 grams of carbs per day, bro, you'd be turning yourself half diabetic. Like,
you have to turn into a furnace.
Yes, you would turn into a furnace. You'd be dripping all day.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. You just pins. Okay, I don't even know what they're saying. Okay, Weston. Okay, flat scary. Okay, thoughts on YK11? There's not enough research for me to put that in my body. That's one sign I would not try, and I have not tried. Okay, are you still plant-based at all? Do you do any plant-based at all? Or you're just straight up
Right. I mean, I was for a little bit, and then I switched to pescatarian at like the start of prep, and then like halfway through prep, I just kind of got sick of fish, and so then I added chicken, and then the last 2 weeks of prep, I added red meat just because I don't know what it is, but like after I had it, I just felt amazing compared to, I honestly I have no clue.
It's all the
But
fat, bro. Like it's
yeah,
an additional like 30 grams of fats per 6 ounce or whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know your body's more full.
Yeah, so I did that, and now, I mean, the only thing that's like super plant-based for me is my protein because I am lactose intolerant, and so whey protein does not sit well with me. I always hated drinking protein shakes, and then I found out, I can actually just get vegan protein powder, and it, digests really well, and I feel a lot better on it. So
Perfect. No, that answers their question.
yeah.
Little Flames, yes, Brett is quite big right now. He's actually quite big. Thoughts on MK677? Just breaking it down for you guys super quick. You don't know what that is. It's a growth hormone secretagogue. It's not a SARM, but I just put it in the SARM category because people will assume it is. Abusing it is anything over like 25 milligrams in my opinion, but it can and it will raise your blood glucose levels, what I was just referring to, checking. If you abuse it for, I'm trying to think what mine was, 2 weeks, my blood glucose numbers were going from 80 upwards of high 90s. That's ridiculous in such a short amount of time. So if you're someone who's like a teen and you don't know what you're doing, it makes you very hungry. So imagine being super hungry, pounding carbs, making your insulin sensitivity messed up, adding that with a substance that makes it high, you can turn yourself diabetic and you can cause serious issues with your insulin sensitivity long term. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think it's like, oh, it's non-hormonal, you're good. It's not good. I've seen people get seriously hurt with MK because he took it for 8 months straight, which I know most people don't have the money to do that, but 6 months, 8 months, bro, you're gonna get hurt. It's just not one of my favorite things to do. It makes you hungry. Just go eat food. It doesn't do anything else. Not a steroid. All right. What is your favorite carb source when you were in prep, or just in general, I guess?
Potato, either white or sweet potato was my go-to. I would make like little, pretty much French fries,
Yeah, nice.
and sweet potato fries. So that was definitely my go-to. And it's weird because last prep I used rice, and I felt a lot better doing potatoes for some reason. So
Yeah, whatever your body works with. Do you base your diet off of blood type at all, or you just kind of just eat whatever, just whatever feels good?
I just kind of eat whatever, and I try to keep it. I try to keep it in a small category of foods, so that my body gets used to them. And if I add something else, I make sure to use that for a while before prep. The only like abnormal part of that was that red meat that I added, but my body took well to it. So
One of the biggest mistakes I see people doing, and like this is just prep wise, it's like they'll be eating, let's just say your 16-week prep, right? They'll be eating like their chicken, tilapia, cod, whatever for the first 12 weeks or 15 weeks. But then for some reason, 2 weeks out of peak week, they'll start adding in all these crazy foods that they haven't
yeah,
touched in 4 months. Like if you don't know how your body's going to react, why would you do something that could like ruin your physique within hours, within days?
I
So
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
so it does take time. Like for me, I'm the opposite. So my body rejects potatoes. Like anytime I have
Okay.
potato fries, I blow it up like a fucking water balloon. But when I switch to cream of rice or oatmeal or rice,
I
my
love
body,
cream of
right?
rice. Cream of
Yeah.
rice. Yeah.
So it just really depends. We're all kind of different.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have my post workout meal dinner 40 minutes after my workout? No protein shake. The anabolic window, guys, it is real, but it's also not real. What I mean by that, I'll try and make it sound better. Is like our body is going to be full of food. Actually, let me reword this. So we have our pre-workout meal, we have our intra-workout meal. So if you guys had a really quality pre-workout meal, assuming it was like an hour or two before, it should last you a couple hours. You're going to burn through a lot of the glycogen and whatnot. But some of us, I don't know if you do it or not. I will do it when I'm bulking. I have an intra-workout shake. So it's going to consist of carbs, BCAAs, and a couple other ingredients I'm not going to talk about. So there are some things that it keeps your body full. It stops from going catabolic. Now, assuming you had an intra-workout and a quality pre-workout, you won't need to have a post-workout meal within like an hour or two because your body's still full of food. But if you only had a pre-workout meal, nothing intra, yeah, you're probably going to have to eat your post-workout meal relatively quick because your body's empty. Like it's ready for more nutrients. But if you had intra-workout, no, you could probably wait an hour or so, something like that. Do you do any intra-workouts at all when you're bulking or
Um,
thing or no?
I actually don't. The only thing I'd ever do, sometimes like when I'm deep in my bulk, I'll do like a Rice Krispie treat, like during my workout. But that's about it. And then right after my workout, I prefer fruits as like the quick carb source for me, like sugars to get back into my system. So
Yeah, like
I
that.
do like a protein shake with like a banana or strawberries or something like that.
Nope, I'm down for that. I like fruit, guys. The only thing is, people don't realize that. I mean, fruit's great. As a whole, it's great, antioxidants, whatnot. But it's like there's so much sugar and so many carbs in it. So if you're on a deficit, guys, you can't just keep pounding fruit, you know, like super quick 20-second story. I had a client, this is like 6 months ago. She was following everything to a T, right? But she left out that she was having 3 bananas a day. Like, I don't know. It was nowhere on the plan to have 3 whole,
like 300 calories.
So she was eating like an additional like 75 grams of carbs that like we didn't account for. And I was like, man, why is this chick not losing weight? Like, she sends me her logs. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm having 3 to 5 bananas per day because I love them. I'm like, okay, that's where the extra 300 calories is coming from. That's like stopping you from being in a deficit, you know?
Yeah.
So fruit's amazing, guys, especially, you know, pre-workout, post-workout, it's super fast digesting, but it's like, remember, if you're in a deficit, there is a lot of calories in it. So you can't just pound fruit because, you know, it's healthy. You know, it is healthy, but it's, you know, you got to think about it. All right. Okay. If your blood glucose levels are high, should you lower carbs? Absolutely. You need to 100% lower carbs. Flexible carbs and fats while diet. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I know we kind of touch on it a little bit, but when you are bulking, do you like to keep it like 90% clean, 10% junk food? Do you have like a 50-50? What is your like ratio that you like to focus on?
I usually just try to, I just have like so many meals, like certain meals, that are like, I kind of think of them like as like preset meals, and I mix and match throughout the day.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, whatever I feel like eating. But, I mean, like I had a cookie, probably like an hour ago. So, I mean, I definitely, it's probably like 25-75. I try to keep it clean, but I definitely, you know, if I have room for something, or even if it just pushes me over by 100 calories, I mean, I'll have it. So
yeah, that's not bad. I don't know how your mind works, man, but for me, when I'm bulking, if I start eating junk food, I don't know if I can stop. My brain doesn't let me. So as long as I don't start eating it, like I can't leave like a box of Oreos here. You know, like I don't know if you have self-control where you can just have like 1 or 2 and then put them back. Like I can't. So I'll be like, all right, I just want 1. All right, 1 more. And then like before I know the box is on. So I can't buy it, otherwise I'll eat it all. I don't have control if it's not there.
During my bulk, definitely, there's a lot more, you know, leniency with, you know, I tell myself if I have it, you know, whatever, I'm bulking, it doesn't matter. But during prep, I definitely have the ability to, like, every night before I go to bed, I'd have like 5 dark chocolate chips, and just chuck them in my mouth, like just have something sweet to, you know, like make me feel like I'm not dieting and
something to keep you.
Yeah,
it'll probably trick your brain too. Like it makes you think, oh, I got candy. Nah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I did that every night. Yeah.
I do that, but I do it with the sugar-free Jello and then the sugar-free popsicles. Like that's my escape. I bust out one of them before bed. I'm like, hell yeah! I just had candy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know,
smart
idea. All right. Can you explain insulin and bodybuilding? I would prefer not to. No. For obvious reasons.
I actually have no knowledge about that anyway. So
yeah, insulin. It's like, if I had to give you a quick summary, like a 10-second summary, it's like everybody's so obsessed with gear, guys. Like they think like, oh, the trend, the test, like that's going to build your physique. You know, I know a lot of my close friends who are competitors, whether they're great amateurs or they're pros. I even have 2 of my best friends are Olympians, right? So we always discuss gear. It's just a topic of bodybuilding that we like to discuss. And a lot of them built their physiques off peptides. And what peptides are, that applies to things like growth hormone, insulin, things of that nature. You know, I'm not going to name any more, but that's the 2 that most people know. So you can build an amazing physique just off of that, and it's not hormonal. So it is quite strong. However, imagine if you took something, it dropped your blood glucose levels, and you were at home by yourself, and you're about to pass out. And if you don't get food in the next 10 seconds, you're going to pass out, go hypo, and die. Would you take something like that living on your own? You wouldn't risk it, right? You wouldn't risk that for building mass. Mm-hmm. So insulin's one of those things, guys, like, yes, it's beneficial. Yes, it has real quality things that it can help you with in the bodybuilding world or just being athletic. But one slip up and it is done. It's not like test trend, like, you know, you're not going to, you know, die from one injection. I mean, maybe if you're unlucky, but it's not going to happen. Now, insulin, it can do that. Now, HGH will 100% raise your blood glucose level similar to the MK677. I'm talking about insulin. Yeah, insulin's not even like a topic that often, guys. Like, unless you're like an open bodybuilder, like a 212 or someone of that stature, like if your body's not processing your 2,000 calories, you got some issues that you need to fix with a probiotic. Or you're hopping onto insulin. You're not eating 5,000 calories in prep. You don't need it. All right. I think I only had like 1 or 2 more questions. I don't want to keep you here all night. Oh, this one was funny because I remember I saw you post a video on it. So what was your final conclusion on taking dark energy? Would you take it again? And like, what was your overall opinion on it?
I mean, it's definitely not something that people should take, in my opinion, because I've taken some pretty strong pre-workouts, and I noticed that each batch is different. Obviously, I think they make it like mass production, and like different batches are have a different potency.
Yeah.
Uh, but the feeling like it's good during your workout, yeah, that's great. But afterwards, you just feel horrible. There's definitely a big crash. So I mean, it's not really worth it. I take it, maybe once a week. Other than that, I'll just do my main like pre-workout stack is black coffee and L-citrulline malate 2 to 1.
Nice.
I'll just do 12 grams of that for the pump, and then
12?
the coffee. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do 12 grams.
12?
Yeah,
God
yeah,
damn.
yeah. I do. It works for me, and it makes me feel like I get a massive pump with it. So I'll do that, and then
Yeah.
coffee. That's all I do.
That's a pretty cheap pre-workout too. You could buy the bulk
Okay.
supplement, citrulline or whatever, and you can get what? Like a
Yeah,
pound,
I mean it's like
25 bucks?
it's like 600 servings for like 15-20 bucks.
Yeah,
So
it's dirt cheap.
yep.
So okay. Um oh, and just branching off that, I have tried dark energy, guys. I tried it when it first dropped. I don't know how long ago it dropped, but I think I tried it when it dropped. It was over 6 months ago. When I was actually first starting my cut, it was a little while ago. My friend's like, yo, try this out. I was like, yeah, give me a scoop. I'll try it at my home gym. It's like, what the fuck is this, bro? I started seeing stars and shit.
Yeah.
way too strong. I was like, this is like Jack 3D craze. Like it's up there. It's one of the
It
strongest
is.
I've ever
It
tried.
is. Mhm.
All right. Somebody had a question about the splits. We'll take these last couple of questions, guys, and we're gonna head out. I don't want to have them here for too long. So, okay, chest, back, legs, arm, shoulders routine for max arm growth because pull legs, arms didn't grow that much.
That's a good
I,
question though.
I don't see why not. Yeah, if your arms aren't growing, guys, sometimes I actually do like having an arm day on its own
Yep.
because I don't know what your split is. Just for mine, I typically do like the chest and tricep, back and bicep, and then I have a separate arm day. But yeah, if you're doing shoulders and arms, that's fine. But you do want to have a pretty decent amount of arm exercises. I've never heard someone saying I grew arms not training arms. It doesn't really happen, unless you're a freak. Unless you're like him and his rear delts. Like we all
Yeah,
have a muscle that grows quite quickly.
my arms would not grow, so I did add a full arm day to my split. So
Yeah. It's insane how knowledgeable you are. I feel that's why you're the most trusted TikTok. Maybe I had a fight with a TikToker yesterday. It was hilarious, but we'll skip that. All right. Okay. We'll get these last ones. We'll head out. All right. So, what was the biggest mistake you made when you first started lifting or getting into bodybuilding?
I would say I have mixed feelings about this because my dirty bulking was definitely something that it made me feel horrible about myself when I got to that point. And I honestly don't know if it's one of those things that I just had to do it because I was always one of those kids that struggled with putting on weight. With playing soccer, just having a high metabolism. So I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but that's probably like the one thing that kind of haunts me to this day is dirty bulking to the extreme. So
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that. I did it unintentionally. So okay, so that makes sense. Mine's kind of similar. So after I finished my show season 2017, I was getting ready 2018. So yeah, when I was prepping, I had a really long off season because I want to be as big as possible, right? Like as big as possibly be without getting fat as hell. So I got upwards of 6'1" at 245. I still actually had a little bit of a like conditioning. Actually, I wasn't like obese.
yeah,
I still had that. But my biggest mistake was I wasn't doing cardio because one of the skinny Olympians I talked to was like, yo, like you don't need cardio. You need more size. It's fine. And I was like, okay, sure. So I did no cardio and like, I don't know, man, I just wasn't healthy. Like I was getting out of breath walking to my car. I was getting out of breath walking to machines. Like it wasn't ideal. So that's probably, the biggest mistake that I did is like, you always want to keep cardio in when you're bulking, guys. It's one of the worst things you can do is to skip it.
agreed.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I guess someone's cooking in my living room. That's fine. My house is burning down. Okay, guys. Well, if that doesn't go away in the next 5 seconds, I think I'm going to have to end the live. And we're good. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't come back. But either way, guys, we were done anyway. That was over an hour. But I did want to say, first off, thank you for hopping on. Thank you for talking to me. And if you want to plug anything, at the end, tell anything you want to say. Do you have any sponsors or anything? Are you sponsored at all or no?
Nope. Just chilling. Just chilling. So no, I just appreciate everybody's support. So that's about it.
All right, for sure.
Uh,
Okay. I'm going to have to end it now.
all
Later,
right.
bro. Thank you for
Yeah.
hopping
See
on.
ya. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. Later, bro. Later, everybody.
Later.
All right.